It's Numbers On Live, powered by Sofascore here on CBS Sports. Golazo, this is the question that we're asking about Yan Diomande, the 19-year-old superstar of RB Leipzig, alongside JayDee Dyer Nico Cantor, ready to break this all down. I feel like we want to pump the brakes.
Pull the handbrake up, bruh.
But his numbers, JD, say otherwise.
They do, and I want to be really positive today, but I'm not going to lie to you, I'm slightly in a villain mode because when I look it through, I love the development, and I'm also going to take into consideration that you're 19 years old. We're loving the fact that Diomande has established himself in the Bundesliga. But there's still a massive gap. There's still massive steps to go, Nico. And he's being touted with some big clubs around Europe. Europe's next big star, only 12 goals in a season. Hey, this is no longer the generation that we grew up in. You don't get time. When you're 19 years old, I need to see the full product now.
Listen, he's the first teenager to score 12 goals in a Bundesliga season since Sancho and Haaland. And you look at his numbers, he is scoring goals, he is being efficient. On top of that, he's a good dribbler and very Leipzig-esque. He likes to press, and we'll talk about how that can affect where he's going to go later, right? But he's an exciting young kid. I think you got to give him that, JD.
Oh, no, I definitely give him that. He's got excitement, he's got potential, but I feel like I've seen a lot of kids with potential. I feel like I've seen a lot of kids in this position. Now, I will talk about the attributes I do like. He is quick, he is dynamic, he can play on both wings, and I've been clamoring and begging wingers to be able to learn both inside and outside. Don't make it so predictable, but how does he stack up against the Estevals, the Endricks, and of course, the Lennart Karls of the world? He actually does pretty well. And these are the other kids that I would turn around and say respectful when I say kids are around the same age group, the same sort of reputation, and most importantly, I have the same sort of pressure on their shoulders. Esteval has obviously established himself in the Premier League. We've seen Endricks have to go back to Liga to try and refine some of that form. And Lennart Karl was in a Bayern team where he's still contributing, even though he's got some really heavy hitters ahead of him.
Plays a different position, right? I'm not going to compare Lennart Karl's successful dribbles to Diomande because he's more in a central role, but compare him to an Esteval. Leipzig also not in Europe, by the way. They can just focus on the Bundesliga. And he's been fairly consistent, especially with a couple of incredible performances, including a hat-trick against Frankfurt. He was like the youngest kid to score a hat-trick in like 60 years in the Bundesliga, something like that. So he is an exciting young kid. I want to see maybe if he does stay in Champions League, for example, against top talent, maybe not just Bayern or Dortmund. I want to see him go up against the Real Madrids of the world, like Esteval did this season against Barcelona. Endrick went to Real Madrid. He had to make a move to Lyon, and I thought Endrick was a better player than Diomande. I mean, Diomande wasn't even on my radar until this season.
So I'm going to ask a question, and I'm going to ask the question that a lot of the fans are going to be wanting to know at home. Are we only speaking about him because of his incredible season this year as an individual, but also his relationship in terms of to the US? Looking at his history, knowing that he developed it, knowing that he built up. Look at the smile on his face. I think I caught him. I think I caught you there.
I don't know if many people even know that he played in the US.
Okay, so let's give the details, because there is some part of his history that is based here. He has developed a large part of it in Florida. You being someone who's obviously associated with that region of the world, give me the context.
He got a trial while he was playing for a Florida club at Rangers. Ibrox. They said no.
So
like a couple of years ago.
So
he went back.
If they sent you packing in Scotland, told you it's a little bit too cold here for you, how does this work out in 3 years?
He went to Spain. He went to Leganés, had a good season with Leganés, and then Leipzig went to this like secondary market, got a player like that, and said, you know what, I'll take him. So let's get this Sofascore pentagon where it compares 5 attributes, right, and it creates that pentagon shape, similar to a player that we don't know in 2015, 2017.
Ooh, this is
more
good. Technical,
more attacking, and more creative. Wing
and more tactical too. The only thing, he wasn't as good as his defending, but there wasn't that much between them. So 15, 17, I'm gonna let you hedge a bet.
I don't know.
Looks like someone that could.
And
I have
look at the jawline.
I don't think it's gonna be who I think it is. From the silhouette. No chance. No chance.
Hey, Fideo!
I swear to you, on everything, I thought it was Angela Di Maria.
Really?
I really did, but I was like, that's not really a fair comparison.
Okay.
You know why I don't think that's a fair comparison? Because I think about where Di Maria was at that stage of his career, and he was phenomenal. He was established. He was probably in the same sort of realm as someone like we're looking like a Kvaratskhelia right now in terms
Even
of
more,
what
I
he
would
was
say.
Even more. Let's not sleep on where Angel Di Maria was, and he was touted with some of the biggest clubs in the world for a reason.
Yeah. And he only got better from there, yes. But it's impressive that Yan Diomande is even like statistically putting himself in the categories of an Argentine superstar like Di Maria. But let's make our way over to the center wall because we're talking about this kid and his future. We're already comparing him to superstars of just a couple of years ago. His transfer value per transfer market, is at 75 million euro. But Leipzig won't sit at the table unless somebody is bringing 100. So that just limits how many clubs that can enter the conversation, right?
Oh, I'm sorry, did you say 100 million? I had to step back in here. Did you say 100 million?
I mean, I wouldn't sit at the table for 100 million for a 19-year-old that's only played in the Bundesliga. We hope to be proved wrong. And that's what I wish for everybody. But if I'm dropping $100 million out of my own club's pocket, I'd be a little bit skeptical, but I think of one team right now, and perhaps that's Barcelona. Rafinha's been injured a lot, and at one point, he's gonna move on, 30 years old. This kid is young, he's got future potential. They went after Nico Williams, remember? Even having Rafinha, they wanted to pair somebody, another dribbler, alongside 28 years old. Has he shown consistency?
I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything because he's had to deal with inconsistencies in terms of starting. Also worry about Rafinha when he's coming back, and we're still talking about Rafinha, but there's just levels to it. And this is where my question marks come in because I respect it and I love this. And I think this would be a great place for him to develop and to learn.
To develop and learn. Maybe not to be the answer right now.
Of course. And I can see it right now. I can see Nico's vision, right? You can see Diomande on one wing. You can see Lamine Yamal on the other. But that could be the next wingers for the next 10 years.
100 million for a kid that's not going to go straight into the lineup?
No, is the answer to that. And it gives you as the reason why I believe that his next move should be something that a lot of people aren't suggesting, but he should stay exactly where he is. Re-establish yourself. Talk about your value. Re-establish yourself. Go into what's going to be an important summer for you.
Okay, for sure.
And showcase.
Play Champions League.
Play Champions League. Showcase that you can do it at the biggest level because then all of a sudden,
pick a team.
There's no more question mark. But if I was forced.
Okay.
If I was forced.
You are being forced.
If I am being told that I need to be a GM and I need to go and get this young man, then there's one place I think he should go.
Okay.
Manchester United. You spoke about it earlier, right? There was a teenage sensation around the 1920 season who did something very similar and went to Manchester United and didn't quite get an opportunity to establish himself in Jadon Sancho. Well, I think it's a new day. I think it's a new era. I think there's a new space right now at Carrington, at Manchester United and at Old Trafford where they want to come through. And I can see Diomande and Diallo being countrymen as well, saying, yeah, this is our time. We're going to revolutionize Manchester United together with a different type of connection. Could you imagine the global appeal? Could you imagine the vibes in Africa again? All of a sudden, we're talking about Côte d'Ivoire, or like Ivory Coast being the phenomenon that is leading Manchester United to their recharge. This is a story and a narrative that I can get behind.
Scored a goal at AFCON in the knockout stage. They could have a good summer. He could be a breakout star. What if he goes for more than 100?
The only way he goes more than 100 is he has to turn around and establish himself this summer. This summer has to be, we're talking about the Diomande show.
Diomande on the left, Diallo on the right. By the way, this guy can play left and right. For Leipzig, he plays both. So he's got that attribute to him as well.
Definitely. And I love him. I love where Diallo is going. Ahmed is going to be a star in this league.
He's one of the best pressers in the Bundesliga. When he doesn't have the ball, that kind of helps.
You selling it.
Narrative.
You selling it.
But it's
cold in Manchester.
It's a lot of money. We want to know if you guys would pay 100 million for a kid like Yan Diomande, for Barcelona, for Manchester United. This is the debate, and it continues. Hey, thanks for watching this video from Numbers Don't Lie. Be sure to catch our show every Monday at 5 p.m. on YouTube. And for news and insights from leagues all around the world, including Serie A, EFL, and all UEFA competitions, both men's and women's, don't forget to sign up for Paramount+.